Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and today we're looking at what has to be the most unique watch I've ever had in my possession. This is I believe it's pronounced Singularity watch, SNGLRTY, and I, of course, set the handset to the 10-10 position, but just has the single hand here, which leads to the name of the watch. So, you can see the pointer arrow there is past 10, so you're at 10 o'clock. And then you have the minute wheel around it's not the perimeter of the dial, but in between the second hand and the hour hand, you have this minute disc. So it is a very unique watch. This is a patented, well, the movement's not patented, but the single hand is patented. Their tagline or their motto is singularity helps you see time differently, and I can agree with that. And in addition to this being a unique looking watch, you can also customize this watch. You can go with a curved or a domed crystal, curved crystal, whatever you want to call it, flat crystal. You can change different colors. You can change the hour disc here. You can change the minute color, and then this inner ring, and then also that second hand ring there, you can change that color as well. You can change the color of the hand and also the color of the hour markers. Now these hour markers here are loomed, which we'll see towards the end of the video. But according to the website, there's over 12,000 different combinations. And that kind of guarantees you have a rare piece in addition to even the watch itself. You're not going to see too many people with that watch. Oh, also you can choose between a date and no date. But choosing the date is a $900 premium because the movement is also upgraded as well. You get the Sellita SW300-1 premium execution movement, which is 42 hours of power reserve, 8 beats per second. Well, both of them are 8 beats per second. This one has 26 joules, and it's regulated to plus or minus 4 seconds per day. The no date movement is the SW200, and I think that has, I know it's just a standard movement. I think it was 38 hours of power reserve and then 25 joules. I think it was plus or minus 12 seconds per day. So what I'm trying to say is for the $900, you get more than just a date. You can see some of the finishing here. So the crystal on the back is a mineral crystal. The crystal on the front is a domed sapphire crystal. I'll show you that in a moment, but since we're talking about the movement, we can look at that right now, what you can see of it at least. And yes, this is the Singularity logo. It's printed on here. I'm assuming it's printed on the inside because I can't feel that printing at all. So it says on here, Swiss reimagined, 10 Atmos, so 100 meter water resistance. And there's the patent number. And this appears to be the Premier Edition 44. So I do like this case shape. It's again, very unique. There's a lot of uniqueness about this watch. We have a mixture of brushed and polished surfaces here. Brushed on top, the edge of the bevel there, edge of the bezel is polished and then brushed again. And these are actually functional hex head screws. I have not removed the strap. I'm not going to. It is an expensive watch. I'm not going to mess with it too much. But these are functional. You can remove these to change out the straps. Speaking of the strap, it is a 21 millimeter lug width. So probably would just stick with the factory strap here. Let's see what this says. Genuine leather. Yep, they're 21, as I just mentioned. And I have not actually worn this watch other than putting it on wrist for the unboxing and Instagram picture. but I'm really not wearing this watch all that much, and I'll show you the reason why in a little bit. But let's talk about the watch a little bit more here. Yeah, so this does have a double dome sapphire crystal, and it has 7 layers of AR coating applied to both the top side and the underside of the watch. So I had mentioned that there is a flat sapphire crystal version as well, and that's, like I said, you can pick many different variations of these watches. I'll leave a link in the description to the website. I encourage you to go and just check it out. You can play around with different color combinations, and you can see the price go up and down. As I mentioned, there is a $900 premium to go to the date movement. So this watch in this configuration, not exactly this configuration because I didn't figure out how to change the screws on here. These have blue screws. The one that I configured had silver screws, but everything else was pretty much the same. That watch that I configured was $4,390. It says something about VAT, value added tax. I don't know if that applies to us or not here in the US, but you'll definitely would pay a customs fee for this. And then the least expensive one that I saw was basically everything was white, but I don't think that matters. I think the blue and white is not an upcharge, but the center disc here with the Coats DGNF, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, that's $120 premium or something like that. But anyway, the most basic one I found was $2,250. So just to give you an idea of the pricing of these watches. So back to the watch here, it is a signed crown with, again, that SNGLRTY logo. So kind of a unique strap here. I'm not sure what the top side of this is. Well, also another option is the tip of the single hand here. You can get it either the same color as the rest of the hand, or you can get it with Loom like this one, or orange. There's quite a few different variations of this watch. Like I said, 12,000 different combinations. So let's go over the dimensions. It is a little bit smaller than I had thought in my unboxing. Lug to lug on this is 47. Case diameter is 40.5. I had thought it was about 42, but it is 40.5. I measured it. Thickness on this watch with the dome crystal, 12.2 millimeter thick. Speaking of thickness, the SW300 movement is, I believe, a millimeter thinner than the SW200 movement, and the case size is different for that, or the bezel. I'm not sure where they do it, but it is thinner according to their website. Perhaps the case back is a little bit shallower. As I mentioned, lug width on this is 21. Kind of a bummer there, you know, either 22 or 20 would be preferred, but like I said, it's a unique watch. So 21, and it tapers down, well, this side at least, it tapers down to 18. This should taper down to 18 as well. I only measured the one side. Yeah, the tapers down to 18 as well. And the crown size on this is 5.8 millimeter, which I think is appropriate for a watch like this. And you may have noticed it is just a push-pull crown. So right now I'm in the hand winding position. Pull the crown out. 10. So I probably don't want to mess with the date right now. So let's pull it all the way out, and we're in hacking. And I will move the hour wheel. Now pay attention to what happens with this minute disc. It does the opposite of what I thought it would do. So that's how the movement works. I kind of have an idea of maybe what they did, but I'm not a watchmaker. It's very unique because as the hour hand is moving forward, the minute disc is moving in an opposite direction. So I don't know how they did it, because it doesn't, as this hour hand is moving forward, it would reduce the amount of time on this disc by 5 minutes, I think, if I'm thinking of that correctly. So I don't know. I think that's what it's doing. Here, I'll slow down, sorry. So right there, that would be 3:20. And then it has 60 here, so that would be 4 o'clock. So very neat watch. All right, let me push the crown back in to the date set position. Must be turning it the wrong way. Let's turn it. Must have been in, where was I at? There we go. Okay, so turning it rearward in this direction, turning it in that direction advances the date. All right. So this watch is engineered and manufactured in Switzerland. And as I mentioned, these hex screws are actually functional here. I had a watch in a while ago where it had hex screws on, but it actually, you know what? That one was functional too. That was the Coup de Coeur watch, the one that I gave away. Peter C. won that watch. But anyway, let's get this on wrist, and you will see why I have not worn it all that much. But before we get there, it does have this butterfly deployant clasp. Kind of neat how this works with these springs here. So let's size this. Now I'm going all the way down to the tightest hole position. Give you a look at the buckle. I'm put it on my 6.5 inch wrist. So you can see I have quite a bit of room here. So if you have a 6.5 inch wrist, you just have to reach out to them and see if they can add a couple holes to this. Probably have to add about 3 holes, I would guess. But anyway, and it comes up this far on my arm. Let's zoom out here, and then you can get a better perspective, perhaps. No, I'll put it where it's supposed to go. So let me know what you think of this watch in the comment section. Greatly appreciate your thoughts on this. I mean, it's definitely a unique watch. You won't see anyone else with a watch like this. But yeah, quite a bit of room here. So. If you have not already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Hit the like button. Leave a comment below. If you are subscribed and you haven't hit the notification bell, please go ahead and hit that as well, so you're so you're notified of when I release a video. Oh, something else to note about this watch is this date disc has been elevated up above the height of that minute disc complication. If they have not have done that, the date wheel would be down quite a ways from the surface of the dial. So everything is connected to the center of the watch movement here, and the disc will rotate around. So somehow they elevated the date wheel disc once it gets outside of that minute disc. So it's a nice touch. I like the texture of this dial too. with the texture of that center disc, and also a little bit of, looks like brushing on that hour disc. It's not just a flat piece of metal there. I don't know if that's actually a heat blued hour minute hand there or not, but it looks very neat. Alright, I'm going to, well, let's look at it next to the SKX, and then I'll pause the video and we can check out the Loom. It's a very neat watch. You can definitely see all of the AR coating coming into effect here. Playing with the light, the studio lighting here. So yeah, actually next to my SKX doesn't look as big as what I thought originally. Alright, we'll pause the video and come right back with the Loom. So as you can see, it does have Loom applied to the hour markers and to the tip of that single hand. You don't see the exact minute on the minute disc, but you know, it's a dress watch. It's not a drive watch, not a dive watch. I guess you can wear it if you're driving, but anyway, yeah, a very unique timepiece. I really appreciate them sending it out for us to check out. If you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and do so. And thank you for taking the time. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. If you're still here, realize I didn't show you the case that it came in again. So it's a nice leather pouch with this padded insert here. So very nice little travel case here. Oh yeah, here it says on the buckle of this, it has the same wording as on the back of the case. It says Swiss Reimagined. So that will conclude the video. And as always, appreciate you guys watching, and catch you on the next one.